More than 16,000 UAW members could return to assembly lines at one of the big three automakers soon if they approve a new tentative deal. The United Auto Workers Union and Ford Motor Company struck the deal to end the walkout that started last month. Factory workers will get a 25% raise over 4 years from $32 an hour to roughly $40 an hour. New hires will now be able to reach that $40 mark in 3 years instead of 8. Members will now have to approve the deal in a vote to make it official. Meanwhile, strikes continue at GM and Stellantis. CBS News senior transportation correspondent Kris Van Cleave joins me now on the phone. Kris, thank you for making time. Obviously, we were looking for something to happen soon and have been for weeks now. What else do we know about the inner workings of this deal and what it means for both sides?
Well, we know there had been a flurry of negotiations today between Ford and the United Auto Workers Union. Ford announces earnings tomorrow, and there was a clear desire on the part of the automaker to try to have this done before they have to face Wall Street and talk about their earnings. General Motors had kind of a rough earnings call in the minds of some at Ford, and they were hoping to avoid that, hoping to have a good story to tell. You know, Ford has the most United Auto Worker members of the big three automakers. Traditionally, they've had the best labor relations with the union. So they had widely been seen as the company that was most likely to get a deal done the fastest. Ford had hoped to have this done before the strike ever happened, let alone a strike into its 6th week that had seen not only about 16,600 of its workers walk off the job, idling many of its key plants, but more than 3,000 others they've had to temporarily lay off because of those plant closures. This tentative agreement means those workers will be able to start going back to work as Ford brings back online several of its key plants that make huge money makers like the F-150 and the Ford Explorer.
So about 2 weeks ago, you recall that the president of Ford was sort of capping things at 23%. It looks like they're ending at about 25%. Who are the real winners here?
Well, it certainly sounds like the Ford employees are getting a very nice raise here. 25% over 4 years, 11% in the first year, and some of the lowest paid union auto workers will see their income more than double over the course of this contract. You think about, Jerika, throughout your career, how many times have you gotten a raise where you saw your salary double or more than double over the course of one contract? That's a pretty significant raise. Now, the auto workers will say, you know, that they hadn't gotten a raise in 12 years, and then when they did get a raise, it didn't keep up with inflation. So this is really just trying to keep pace. But certainly the workers have to be feeling relief. They've been making $500 a week in strike pay, the ones that have been on strike.
That's right. And again, we look to see what the other two out of the big three do as a result of this tentative deal. Kris Van Cleave, thank you.